This is the WWE Smackdown March 21, 2025 full show results video which takes place at Unipol Arena in Bologna, Italy. Randy Orton makes his entrance to get on the mic, and before Randy can say a word, Kevin Owens' music hits. He starts off with an apology, saying he was wrong for attacking Randy Orton and laying him out with a piledriver because he didn't deserve any of that. Cody Rhodes deserved what he did, Sami Zayn deserved what he did to him, but he got angry with Randy and did something that he regrets, and if anyone can relate to that, it should be Orton. He says he can forgive Randy for taking Cody's side if he can forgive him for attacking him, and speaking of leaving things in the past, he pulled Carmelo Hayes out of the ring last week to save Orton from himself, because he knows he doesn't want to go back to the Randy Orton that used to kick people in the head because he has changed now, and that should stay in the past. They should look to the future now, and what's in the future now is WrestleMania, and he thinks they should become tag team champions at WrestleMania. Randy says he actually deserves is for Randy to kick him in the head real hard, because he's gone from fight Owens fight to bitch Owens bitch. Dropping him on his head was great because it brought the voices back and they counsel him, they understand, and at WrestleMania he's gonna kick Owens' head clean off his shoulders. Then we saw a match between Damian Priest and Big Jim Uso vs Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura, and the result of this match was Damian Priest and Jim Uso won the match by pinfall with South of Heaven from Priest on Shinsuke Nakamura. Post-match, McIntyre attacks Priest and lays him out with a claymore. Back from the commercial, Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton are interviewed via satellite. Stratton starts answering, but Flair speaks over her and takes credit for bringing out the best in her and calls her a pick-me and says she challenged her because she felt sorry for her and she's not that special. Tiffany talks about how she used to look up to Flair, but she saw the look on her face and she knows that she's the one who's gonna take over her spot. Flair says she's never been across from her, just underneath her, and Stratton says the only catching up she's doing is with the fans who don't want her back. Tiffany says the WWE Universe doesn't bow to her anymore, they run on Tiffy time and she'll see her at WrestleMania. Then we saw a match between Braun Strowman vs Jacob Fatu for the WWE United States Championship No. 1 contendership, and the result of this match was Braun Strowman won the match by disqualification when Solo Sikoa attacked him, becoming the No. 1 contender to the WWE United States Championship. Post-match, Fatu is upset for a minute but soon enough joins the beatdown. Braun recovers, Fatu lays him out, LA Knight is here for the save. Knight and Strowman beat the odds and send the heels packing, then Braun remembers that he's the No. 1 contender now and they have a quick stare down. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are interviewed backstage and Morgan says she has a problem with Jade Cargill for letting them take the heat for attacking her the entire time she was out. She crows about being the greatest tag team of all time and says tonight she's gonna finish the job. Back from the commercial, Jacob Fatu is furious and kicking things and throwing things backstage and Solo Sikoa tells him to calm down but he doesn't listen. Solo says they were just trying to help and Jacob asks who he was trying to help, and when he's taking care of his business he better just watch next time. The next match happened between Piper Niven vs Zelina Vega, and the result of this match was Piper Niven defeated Zelina Vega by pinfall when Chelsea and Alba distracted Zelina, and then Piper Niven hits a freight train crossbody block. Jade Cargill is interviewed backstage and she says since Liv wants to try it, she's gonna show her, and when she's done with her, all eyes will be on Naomi, and tonight is just a little preview of what she's gonna do to her. The next match happened between Jade Cargill vs Liv Morgan, and the result of this match was Liv Morgan defeated Jade Cargill when Naomi appears on the apron, Cargill distracted but she counters Oblivion into a backbreaker anyway. Drawing Naomi up on the apron, Naomi clocks her with one of the tag title belts and Jade is out cold, then Liv takes advantage, and hits Oblivion. Post-match, Naomi attacks Cargill and lays her out with an inverted surfboard stomp, hits Heatseeker, follows it up. She blasts Jade Cargill off the apron and into the announce desk. Drew McIntyre runs into an interview on his way out of the building and he says he didn't start this but he'll sure as hell end it, and he's explained all of his problems with Damian Priest, that emo vulture. He says he'd love for anybody, especially Damian, to verbally explain to him how he's wrong, to poke holes in his logic, but nobody does because you can't. He tells Priest he'll see him in London and walks off, running into Seth Rollins on his way to his car. Back from the commercial, Street Profits make their entrance and Montez Ford says Bologna is generous and beautiful, and for the first time in 4 years the Street Profits are tag champs. Angelo Dawkins adds that it's about damn time, and for the past 4 years the doubt has been creeping in, but holding the titles makes it all worth it. Ford says through the peaks and valleys, highs and lows, he's learned he can always count on Dawkins, and they shake hands and embrace. Then comes Legado del Fantasma and Santos Escobar speaks a little Italian for the crowd before switching to English to agree that the Profits finally getting the title back is a beautiful moment, but too bad it's gonna end abruptly at the hands of Los Garza. Then comes Pretty Deadly and Kit Wilson tells Santos he can run his mouth all day long but he's forgetting that they're the #1 contenders. Elton Prince says Legado need to step aside but Escobar refuses and complains about the Profits believing their pathetic gossip and says it's personal since the Profits didn't apologize to him. He tells Pretty Deadly to stay out of it and they unleashes a torrent of woe at him before saying Pretty Deadly have their tag title shot but Los Garza look feisty like they want to fight tonight here in Bologna, Italy, so he wants to get loco with them tonight and they want the smoke. Then we saw a match between Los Garza vs Street Profits, and the result of this match was Street Profits defeated Los Garza by pinfall with a frog splash from Montez Ford on Angel Garza. Pretty Deadly run into DIY backstage and talk about how stoked they are for their title match. DIY act happy for them and offer a quid pro quo, they'll make sure Pretty Deadly win the tag titles, as long as they get to be first in line for their rematch. Kitty asks if he means a back-scratching situation. Johnny Gargano says he'd hate to see them lose in their hometown like he did, and they say no boys. Motor City Machine Guns appear behind DIY and welcome them to the back of the line where they're gonna beat their ass. Roman Reigns makes his entrance, flanked by his wiseman, Paul Heyman. He says at the Royal Rumble, CM Punk screwed him, so he screwed CM Punk at MSG. But that's not it, because at the Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins tried to kill him, but it's okay because he returned the favor last week. He says he's taking his time tonight and if anybody wants to come out and confront their tribal chief, please let him know. Seth Rollins makes his entrance then, and tells Reigns that he messed up and he doesn't understand how dangerous CM Punk is to the future of this company and he should have let him finish him while he had the chance. But he gets it. It's not about him. It's never been about him. It's about the two of them as it always has been. They came in together, there is no Roman without Seth and vice versa and they cannot coexist in the same space at the same time. This story of Roman and Seth has a lot of pages written and he thinks it's time to add another chapter. Then comes CM Punk and says neither Big Chief nor Grimace have ever beaten him without the other one's help, because they can't. He didn't screw Roman because it's every man for himself in the Royal Rumble and his wiseman should have clued him into that. And he wouldn't have made it to the Rumble if he hadn't saved his family's ass in War Games, and he reminds Paul Lee that he's owed a favor. But before he gets to that he thanks Paul for delivering his tribal chief on a silver platter tonight. Roman turns to look at Heyman confused and Punk jumps him. They roll around on the mat briefly, Seth joins the fray and brawls with Punk, Roman takes him off of CM and throws him into the turnbuckles. Rollins returns to the fray, referee Ryan Tran desperately tries to calm things down but the brawl will not be stopped. Finally referees and road agents arrive to break it up. Punk is standing on the announce desk and Rollins dives on him. In the end, all three pointed to the WrestleMania logo, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's SmackDown show? Let me know in the comments and thanks for watching.